Oh, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And whoever said the apple doesn't fall far from the tree never taught a man how to fish for a day. But Joe X did his video and he came out with some clarity about what's been happening with him. Now, I know he didn't share all of it, he shared what he could, but on one hand, thankfully, I was wrong about everything. But on the other hand, it might not have been so bad if I was right. He said basically he's got, people local to him that just keep making nuisance calls to the police because he's doing his thing on his property, and people are watching him and taking pictures and all this stuff. And, you know, to me, from an American perspective, especially being in the Southeast, that's kind of weird to try to process. I mean, according to his description, he's kind of in a no win situation with these people until he builds a lot of fences and creates more privacy. But, like, here, number one, you could take all the pictures you good and well want. There's nothing you can do about me doing something legal on my property, outside of possibly pick up a charge for making nuisance calls to the police. Um, and granted, where I live, I'm in a subdivision. I have people living very close to me. It's not ideal, but that means I can't, go out in my backyard and start popping off rounds. But like I've been around places like, my uncle, God rest his soul, he lived out in a place called Deering, Georgia, and it's like an hour outside of Augusta. And he had a shooting range in his backyard. He had a 75-yard range in his backyard. And, one of my favorite things to do is we'd go out in his yard, we'd shoot. He'd teach me how to blow stuff up. He taught me how to play around with gunpowder and how to make poppers, how to make electronic tripwires, all this stuff. And it was legal and no one did a thing about it because no one cared. His neighbors were out there shooting in their yards. He took an oxygen tank. Sorry. He took an oxygen tank and cut the bottom off it. And he had literally a car axle that he'd just swing and hit it with, and you could hear it from like a half mile away. Didn't matter. And the goal for me is to eventually get that kind of property. But, that being said, he said somebody was on his property at one point. If someone's that far into my property and it's that big, you get around in the dirt as a warning shot, but after that, you're on your own, buddy. You better leave. And that's the thing is we can do that here. Now, there's a caveat to that, of course. In most places, if you respond with lethal force while they're trying to leave or escape, you might pick up charges and you may deal with a lawsuit from their family because they think you shooting them while they're trying to rob your house was just too much. This is a step too far. Things like that have happened. But, in a lot of places, you have the right to defend your property. And, I just wanted to share that because, kind of like with the Harbor Freight Icon knife, I was wrong. I spitballed a guess. And I spitballed what was the most likely guess. But, you know, kind of what I was thinking was happening was probably not as bad as what is happening. Because you're dealing with people like that, you just got a lingering problem that will not go away. You know, and Joe, if you see this, I love you, man. I love your videos. I hope you do get back to doing what you're doing, but maybe build some fences. Just build yourself some privacy so they can't see you from the street. Maybe that'll work. At some point it crosses the line to where you're wasting police time and resources on, BS. So I just wanted to share that update. I'm going to link off to the video in the description so you can watch it yourself. It's a lengthy video, but, he kind of vents his frustration and lets it out. And he does mention some people that, are in this small little community that I've somehow fallen into. But, this shouldn't be happening. That really shouldn't be happening to anybody in the civilized world. I mean, it really shouldn't. And, it's just like the European version of American Karens that can't keep their nose out of your ass. And it sucks, but, he does kind of have a point. That's what we're coming to right now. And of course, we'll come to this and we'll deal with this for a while. And then, society will change a little bit and then the new version of that will come up. It's basically always happening, but each generation it happens in a different way. So I'm sure whatever's happening, next for the next generation is going to look different from ours, but it'll be the same vibe. So I wanted to share that with you, wanted to speak up. Guys, go ahead, drop by and subscribe to Joe X. Give him a sub, and hang out and wait. I've got a feeling he's probably going to be back after a while once he gets his mental health back and maybe figures out how to do things a little better. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And again, Joe, if you do watch this, please get some new props, show us some new ways to destroy knives. I'm always looking forward to it. But all that being said, subscribers, thank you so much. You guys are still coming in. I'm grateful. It's humbling. Comments, let's talk about this in the comments. Let me know what you think. All that being said, Joe, I hope things turn around for you and things get better. All that being said, y'all have a nice day.